His computer.
It sounds right. Okay, so up to what's in the safe is called Gimel Tishrei V'Nira Pashut. It says the Chofetz Chaim, it would seem obvious. Shatam Shech Mira Torah Kol Kach V'Tzel Oven. The reason why the Torah was so stringent in this Avera, Shem Shemara was a Harbes and Makatrik HaGadol Klal Yisrael. Now here he quotes an unbelievable Zoyar. He says, when you speak Lashon Hara, you empower your Ma'orer, the Makatrik HaGadol, the big prosecutor of Klal Yisrael. But there's a Horah Kama Nosh Mekama Dinas, and by doing that, you're the cause of killing many people in many countries. It's a Lashon Hazar Kodesh Pashas B'Kudei. This is the words of the Zohar. Is Ruach Chada. There's a Ruach. The Kaima Al Kolinan More Delishna Biyosha that stands over or those Bali Lashon Hara. More Delishna Bisha. When they start speaking Lashon Hara, or even if it's one person, one of them, that starts speaking Lashon Hara, so that Ruach Hara, Hatome, Ruach Hatuma, Ruach Bisha Misav, Bisha means Ra, Misav means Tame, of above. It awakens it. I guess the English word is really empowers it. The name of that Ruach Isha is Sachsucha, V'iu Shorei Alahu Israusa Delishna Bisha. And it rests, Shora, on the Hisoris of that Lashon Hara, the Sh'aru B'nei Nasha, that the people started speaking. V'iu Ol La'ela, then this Ruach Bisha goes up above. V'gorim Bahu Yisrael Delishna Bisha, and with that, his iris of that Lashon Hara, he causes Moisa, death, Harba, Cherev, Ktola, it's also death, Baalma. Woe to those who awaken this Sitra Bisha, this Ruach Ra, and they don't watch their mouths. And they don't take, they're not worried, they're not choishish for this. They don't know that by our actions, whether for the good or for the opposite, right, is the Yisarua de La'ela, Bein Latav, Bein Lavish. If we do mitzvahs, it empowers the good up there. And if we do bad, and he says, all those who speak Rechilas, there's the Hebrew on the bottom, there's the Sarah on the top. And that empowers this, it's called the Nochash. The Nochash was the Sherish of the Lashon Hara. So it gives him power to speak Lashon Hara against the world. Mida Keneged Mida. If the Bali Lashon Hara spoke Lashon Hara, it gives them power, and it gives him power. This Ruach Bisha, or what here he's calling it Chivya Rabbah, the big great snake, to be able to speak Lashon Hara around the world. And by doing that, that's how he causes Misa and all those things in the world, because he's able to speak bad about the world. It's all because of this Lashon Hara, because of what he did down here on the bottom. That's what the Zohar says. You're empowering the prosecutor. You're empowering the Lashon Hara, the Nochash HaGadol. He can speak Rechilas against Klal Yisrael, against the world. Says the Chofetz Chaim, we could therefore say that this is the intent of the Gemara. The Gemara uses an expression when you speak Lashon Hara, you're greatening the Averis ad l'shamayim. Shenema shatu b'shamayim pm. They place their mouths in the heavens. L'shonim ta'alach ba'aretz perish. After l'shonim ha'alach ba'aretz, even though they're speaking down here, our piv shas b'shamayim, but his mouth goes up to the heavens, and that would be Says the Chofetz Chaim what the Zohar is referring to. That by speaking Lashon Hara here, you're empowering this Ruach Ra, this Ruach Tomei, to go up Shemayim and do the damage. Says in the Tanei Be'Eliyahu, Shalosh Shanosh Shu Mesaper, the Lashon that a person speaks, who oila at keneged kisei hakovid, it goes up to the kisei hakovid, mizenu chaleda. As goydel hachurban shemachriven by Lashon is klal yisrael. It's frightening that you can know the tremendous destruction that Ali Lashon Hara do to klal yisrael. V'oid tam acher l'goydel hapgam. Another reason for the tremendous by a person being poigem his lashon. I don't know how to translate the word flaws. His lashon with the burim asurim who meneach at the room chokoidish who medaber malalis lamala. He's going to quote another zar that's also frank. When a person dirties his mouth, so to speak, with lashon or with diburim asurim, whether it's here, it includes Lashon Hara, it could be Nivol Pek, he's Mainea. Afterwards, when you want to learn Torah and you want to daven, right? It doesn't allow those Divrei Kedusha to go up. And this Ruach Rab, Tolin Kama Gardinin Achorin, is other Ma'orei Din in Hebrew. It awakens other Din. Dinam Memunan La'achta Milabisha, that these Dinim, their job is to take the Lashon Hara, or Mila Tinufa, or the Nivel Peh, the Apik Banash Mepume, that a person allows to come out of his mouth, Lobosa Apik Milan Kadishin. And afterwards, he then says, Milan Kadishin, they have the power to be poigim those words. Vailon, Vaila Chayehon, V'chulu, woe to them and woe to their lives. Vailon, B'hayalma, woe in this world, Vailon, of the Ossi. Begin to Ila and Ruchid Misava, not Nahu Mila Misava, because these Ruch Tuma take the words that you spoke, the Lashon Hara that you spoke, the Karapik, Manash, Labos, and Milan Kadisha, and then afterwards, when you use your same mouth to say holy words, Akdime Ila and Ruchid Misava, Mila Yahu Misava, these Ruach Tuma, you see them, and they take this Dvar Tuma that you did, and the Metama, Umasava Huma Kadisha, and the Metama the Kedusha. And then you don't have it. You sat and you learned, and you think, wow, you sat and you daven, you had a good davening, but you don't realize that your words are being intercepted on the way up by the Lashon Hara you spoke before, and these kirkas have the ability to be the top of those words. He says, I skipped the line. And the person is in Zeicha to those words of Kedusha, and as if to say, Kaviyachol, you've weakened the power of the Kedusha. That's the words of the Zohar. You see clearly from the words of the Zohar. All our Torah and Tefillah is hanging in the heavens, and they can't go up. So to our Tefillahs, how could the Mashiach come? Our Tefillahs aren't going anywhere. Says the Chofetz Chaim a little more. He says, when we look into this even more, besides the fact that Lashon Hara on its own, that's a serious Avera. But by speaking Lashon Hara, he makes great the destruction in all the words. And he darkens and lessens the light of those worlds. It's all the good shefa is being blocked. Because of the fact that so many people are speaking Lashon Hara, that they speak, they over this love hundreds and thousands of times during their lives. So you're not, if again, later on the Chofetz Chaim differentiates between a Baal Lashon Hara and someone who's slipped. Right? A Baal Lashon is someone who speaks Lashon Hara freely. He's a Baal Lashon. Such a person, every day he's speaking Lashon Hara. You can speak one Lashon Hara every day, so it adds up to thousands of words of Lashon Hara over his life. If you love in Kotan, he says, even if you do a small Avera, if you do it many times, it becomes like thick straps of the wagon. As Yishayahu screams, that they're doing the Avera with Chavli Shov, nothings, but it's like the Avos HaGolah. Famous mashal of the Chofetz Chaim, you take a strand of silk, that's nothing. It can be blown away, but if you double it and triple it hundreds of times, it becomes a strong rope. And certainly this Avera, that's not a small Avera, that's a big Avera. And people are accustomed to transgress it thousands of times over their lives. And they don't accept upon themselves to be careful of Lashon Hara. Certainly that destruction above is there's no sheer to it, how terrible it is. So very powerful, right? The power of the Lashon Hara. Right? He quoted the two Zoyars. The words are awakened the great prosecutor, the great Nachash, able to talk against Klal Yisrael, and it blocks, it's matama your tefillah and your divrei Torah. Okay, that's the Sefer Chofetz Chaim. It's a little bit of a long one. Now let's jump to Shmiras HaLashon, and we had said we were going to first do the footnote. There's a footnote on last times where we said he was discussing there how there's a parallel between the Ramach Evorim Shad Gidayim in the Nefesh and the mitzvahs, and someone who is over certain averos, so that directly is makalkel certain parts of his nefesh. And Lashon Hara and Shmiras Lashon Hara is the ears and the mouth, which means that you get up there, you're going to be quite a balmum. The pasuk says in Mishnah, someone who's he doesn't give importance to something, it will come and be choivel him, it will hurt him. But someone who fears the mitzvahs, he'll be complete. So on this pasuk in Mishnah, it says the Gra, same concept as 248 connected Ramach Satzek. Everything gets its life source from the mitzvahs. Therefore, says Shlomo, if you mavase, you don't take a mitzvah seriously. But you're hurting yourself, you're wounding yourself. Because you're going to be lacking the life source. A person can have a hand with Rahman's son, but it's dead. It just hangs there. But someone who has Yiras Shamayim and to leave any mitzvah, make sure to fulfill everything. So then he'll be who Yeshulam. He'll be complete. At HaLashon, that's the words of the Grub. Chofetz Chaim says that could be what the pasuk in Hazinu says. Shichas loy banav muma. It says there they were mashkis loy not to him, not to Hashem. Banav muma. It's the mum of the son. Peva shichas loy dahin about vayna the averis that Klal Yisrael is doing ain't mashkisin. They're not hurting anyone. Rakla atzman, just hurting themselves. Loy and not to Hashem. Chas v'shalom. Kamay d'chsev im chatos matifo boy. Pasuk in Eve. If you sin, why did you do that, Hashem? It's the Bonim's mumim. It's their mum. I am Pirish Rashi. The Pirish the mum Shabonavu. I am Tamakavanam Zekapshutai. Based the way we're understanding, the Pshat is Pasha. The Nasre de Avain is Bali Mumim Nabasaif. By doing Averis, you would come Ibal Mum at the end. And if Nasa Be'enov Hefker is a mitzvah, if there's any mitzvah that became Hefker that you don't care, you don't take care of, you don't try to keep, Chas v'shalom, Nasa Be'ese Aver, Hamachuna, Negan HaMitzah Ibal Mum Nabasaif. So at the end, that Aver is going to be a Balmum, as we explained in the words of the Gra. And now we'll go back to Day Gimel Tishrei, says it's known that someone who is margil himself, he regularly speaks this Avera, does this Avera regularly, Chas v'shalom. It's very hard to find him a medicine, help him get over his addiction. Gemara says, Chazal tell us that in the future, Hakol Misrapi, everybody is healed. Chutz Bali Lashon Horah. Doesn't say where this Chazal is. Besides the Bali Lashon Horah, in Kenya Gila and Nafshe Boishas Godel Netzach Edei, and if so, he'll have an eternal embarrassment. It says, take a look at Perikei, we wrote from the Medrash, some of Shimon and Mom, Miriam, Bachulu, that they intend, they say Lashon intentionally. Miriam didn't do it intentionally. And they do it to cut the guy's life, to hurt him. Certainly Hashem will cut out their tongue. Pasuk until Yachres Hashem Kosif Sechalokos. This is all the same type of idea. This could be called Tzuras HaNefesh more than anything else, because by that your shleimus of the nefesh is mekulkol shenikres nefesh adam mitzad krechad yivusham. Right? What are we defined by? We're defined by our speech. Compares Rashi Pashas Bereshis V'zeu Shekasu Shemer Pivu L'Shayne, someone who watches his mouth. Perish B'Olam Hazeh Shemer Mitzaris Nafshay. He protects himself from his tzaris. V'zeu Gam Kein Kamanas Davan HaMelech Alav Hashalom Mashiach Tehaprat. Why Davan HaMelech specifically emphasized don't speak Lashon Hara. Gizel Te'elis Gadol L'Chaye HaNetzach, because this is a tremendous benefit for eternal life. Okay. End of recording. Let me